morning, everyone. Welcome to your Monday morning espresso shot. So let us begin with this thing we call heart-focused breathing technique. Let us place our awareness in the area of the heart. And take slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. And allow these to flow into your heart as you take deep breaths into your heart. Exhale from your heart. And what's happening now in your body as you're doing this and you're following along is you're creating a stable nervous system. You're training your nervous system to operate in this way, which is a harmonious way, which actually helps you set up your nervous system for bigger and better things. And the bigger and better things are achieved by what we're about to do in the last 5 minutes of this 15-minute session. So this heart-focused breathing technique, as you take the slow, deep breaths in, visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Slows your body down, allows you to become more present. Very simple technique you can do even as you're waking up. Most of us hit the snooze button. That's a perfect time to begin the deep breathing process. And all you have to do is just place awareness in the area of the heart and just take slow, deep breaths. A simple technique. It's a very powerful technique. And that's why I really like this. And I do this every day. Because you're going to breathe anyways. Why not breathe in this way? Slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. And just feel your body slow down. If you want to gauge how stressed you are at the beginning of the morning, and I realize that some of you, this is very early in the morning, and for some of you, this is early in the afternoon, or perhaps early in the evening, depending on which time zone you hail from. But if you find yourself with a big change, that when you feel this way, as soon as you do this heart-focused breathing technique, if there's a huge difference in how you felt before to how you're feeling now, then know that you are stressed out, that you are revving high. And that's okay, because what we're doing right now, as we're doing these breathing techniques, is we're building our capacity to handle more stress. Because life has its sweet and spicy moments, and we want to be there present for all of those sweet and spicy moments. And so celebrate your diversity of experience in your life. Without that, life would be boring. So let us build our capacity to have more fun and to add more spice in our lives, but not adversely affect us when we do that. And so place your awareness in the area of the heart. And just take slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. Wonderful. That is wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'd like to now share with you the I didn't know that moment and what inspired me. I don't know if how many of you know Bruce Lipton or not. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. Bruce Lipton sends out a monthly email or newsletters once in a while, telling us about his wonderful experiences, his wonderful initiatives. And I just came back from Nanaimo, just listening to this wonderful gentleman, a kind-hearted man, share with us the science of spirituality, and what a mind-blowing experience I had. In one of his emails that he sent out, he cited a report which I reviewed from Psychology Magazine, a bona fide, credible report that talks about how you can manage your emotions. And I thought it was worthwhile for us to explore this a bit today, and then take away from this whatever we can. But one of the things that, on a self-reflection basis, I'm a personal coach, life coach, empowerment coach, whatever you want to call me. I help people find and ignite their power within, and to help them help themselves out of a jam or situations in life. And one thing that I cannot do, and I've recognized this, I've probably many things I cannot do, but this one thing I know I cannot do is to self-heal myself. It's very difficult. I can do it, but it's very difficult. I need somebody else's perspective to do that. And so what I would do is I would have a coach myself, and I would say, hey, help me through this jam because I can't see myself. And I realized something. There's a reason why we all cannot heal ourselves. Although we can be great, comforters to others, it's very difficult for us to look inward. And that is because our ego gets in the way. That is because we are charged emotionally when we look within. And it's difficult to push through that. So one of the things that this article exposes in terms of their studies is that look at yourself from a third person perspective. So let me give you an example of that. If I were to say, Shamir, or if I were to say, I don't know why I'm feeling sad about this situation. All of a sudden, when I say, I don't know why I'm feeling sad about this situation, I'm automatically reflecting on my sadness, and I'm actually looking for an answer from a state of sadness. What if I were to say, and this is what the magazine suggests, is for me to say, Shamir, why are you sad? Tell me why you're sad. And if I were to say that, all of a sudden I pull myself out in an objective third person situation. I wonder why Shamir is sad, is one step above what I just said. So if I say, why is Shamir sad? Or why is Shamir not happy today? Is at least as if I'm talking about pulling out my inner coach, an objective inner coach out, and then looking at it and saying, well, Shamir, you're sad today because you feel badly about how that conversation went. What do you think your role was in there, and how could you have addressed that situation differently? And all of a sudden, answers start coming through. I actually tried this without knowing this was an actual technique that had science behind it. I was at the Nanaimo conference, and basically, I had to tell one of the volunteers that I'm sorry, you're not doing your job properly, and so I'm going to have to ask you. I'm going to have to reassign you somewhere else. And of course, we have to do that because there's 1,300 people lined up here, and we have to make sure the volunteers who are getting a free ride in this conference, they're also serving well, and they're making the attendees comfortable first before making themselves comfortable. But anyways, I said to her, I said, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to reassign you to a different job. And then I said to myself and to her, like in this fleeting moment in between in between my conversation, I pulled myself out and said, okay, Shamir, why does Shamir feel badly about this discussion? And it wasn't that I had to deliver a very difficult message, because I was delivering it from my heart, and I knew it was best overall. But it was interesting that why Shamir felt really bad is that he should have coached her earlier on rather than wait till now, when it's too late for me to reverse the situation. And so immediately I looked at myself from the outside, came back in and said, I'll take ownership. I admitted it. I said, I'll take ownership of not addressing this sooner. I should have done that. So my apologies. I take full responsibility. But see the power of actually stepping outside your own zone, your own body, and saying, why would, why is Shamir feeling this way? So put your name in there. So Shamir, put your name in there. It says, why is Michelle feeling this way? Why is Anar feeling this way, or whatever you want to say, and try that out. It's a very, very powerful technique. All right. I would love to hear your comments either now on the chat area, or send me an email telling me how well this went for you as you practice this. All right. Wonderful. Let us begin to kick it up one more notch. A quick coherence technique. This is where we're going to add jet fuel, what I call jet fuel, and that is emotions. regenerating emotions. So we're going to set up our nervous system by the heart focused breathing technique. That's the first two steps you see. And then we're going to boost it up with emotions. So let us begin. Let's place our awareness in the area of the heart. And take slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. And now reach for that joyous feeling. Explore that feeling within you that says, I'm at calm, I'm peaceful. And imagine yourself or feel yourself, visualize yourself, whatever your mode is to experience regenerative emotions. Visualize yourself in a past memory where you felt this, or project into the future what life would be if all of your desires came to fruition, and just bathe yourself in that. And now continue to take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart as you experience these regenerative emotions. And when you do that, your whole nervous system actually becomes lock sync with each other. It starts producing DHEA, which is an anti-aging rejuvenating hormone. It actually slows down the stress response. So if you felt a huge shift when you did the heart focused breathing earlier, this is going to kick it up a notch. You'll have the capacity to take on more and more, and you'll smile all the way through. Slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart, and experience regenerative emotions. Remember to do this at least 15 minutes a day. And you don't have to do it all in one sitting. So you've done 10 minutes of it already. Find 5 more minutes in your day. You have to breathe anyways, and you're always experiencing emotions. And so why not choose the way you want to breathe and choose what emotions you want to experience? You know, one of the main thesis of emotional intelligence corpus of literature here, if there's anything you want to know about emotional intelligence, anything, is that when information flows from your body to your brain, it actually flows through your emotional center first, which means you feel first before it goes to your executive function, which is your frontal lobes, where you think and begin to become creative. And this is why it's important for us to get in touch with our feelings and to explore those feelings and to transform those feelings. And so if you're experiencing a regenerative emotion right now, think of the creativity that's forming in your body and you're able to do. Slow, deep breaths. Visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Experience a regenerative emotion, such as care, compassion, gratitude. Wonderful. This practice becomes a lot more powerful when we have more than 2 people on this particular live broadcast, because everyone is focused in this way and we're all connected. And there's science to show what science calls non-local intuition or energetics is how we're connected together in this way, and we're experiencing the same emotions, and therefore we're actually boosting our own intuition at this very moment by connecting together in this way. As a matter of fact, those that will connect in the future are also here now, because there's no time and space beyond the veil. So in essence, the energies we're experiencing right now is a compound factor of all the people that will ever listen to this, all the people that are listening now on this. So that should cheer most of us up, because this will be a wonderful experience for us to boost our intuition and become more creative. Wonderful. Nothing's stopping you from continuing your breathing as we move into the Q&A now. If you have any questions, please do send that out, If not, I'll just say goodbye to you. This is the optional 15 minutes of any Q&A. I see there's something coming through. Michelle says, it sounds very good way to look myself in the situation, and I need to try it. Wonderful, Michelle. I would love to hear how that went for you, and please do share that. Appreciate your comments, Michelle. Thank you. Cecile says, can we do this for health too? Ask, why do I have this disease, this illness, and then heal ourselves? Cecile, I think you can. There's no scientific evidence that shows that you can or cannot, but I truly believe we can. And the way we do this is when we get into our heart coherence, we become more intuitive. And our body has all the information it needs. It's communicating with you in many ways. And it's when we don't listen to the small, subtle cues, then the bigger ones appear, like symptoms. And if we don't listen to bigger cues, then much bigger ones appear. So I think our body does talk to us, and we've seen that in kinesiology, and we've seen that in muscle testing. The question is, how do you tune into your body to listen? And you can actually combine the techniques we've shown here, the quick coherence technique. There are advanced techniques as well. I teach people which are a lot more advanced and get you there very quickly in terms of boosting your intuition. But for now, in the beginning stages of getting in touch with your body, the quick coherence technique with emotional inducement, that what we just did a minute or so ago, begin with that. And then what I would suggest you do then is to say to yourself, say this, Cecile, you say, Cecile, why are you experiencing this health condition right now? What do you think, if you were to guess, what do you think that has to do with? Is there an emotional thing? Or is it just working through your system? You've already healed it. Sometimes, Cecile, when we heal the emotional state, the physical manifestations are there, but they need to be purged. The only difference is that the emotional state has been healed, and so there's nothing that's going to allow it to come back again. Okay, so that's the important part. There's Russian scientists who actually looked at the energetic field outside our body, and they have a piece of equipment that is not very readily available in North America, although there are people who use this piece of equipment in North America. But it can check your energy field, and when it sees spots in your energy field, they've discovered that those spots, dark spots, appear before the physical manifestations in your organs. So that energy of disease is already out there if you're not experiencing in your body. You can clear it energetically very quickly, depending on your own belief system, on your own ability to connect with yourself. You can clear it from your energetic field. And then if you've got already a symptom in your body, it's a matter of just using three-dimensional methods to just clear that, because sometimes they're connected, but they're not connected in time and space. All right. I hope that makes sense. But yes, I truly believe, Cecile, that you can do that. Thank you for asking. That's a very important question. Anne says, my regenerative emotion is being hugged in the wings of my magnificent angel self, and have started talking to her during the day. But now I will now start using that relationship a lot more. That's very beautiful. You are that angel. Make no mistake about it. We see angels as separate from us, but they're a part of us because energetically we're all one. And so take the mantle of that angel yourself one day and say, okay, I am now going to merge with that angel. I'm going to look at it from an angelic perspective, my situation, and ask, why is Anne experiencing this? And see what happens. Just experiment and play with that. All right. Wonderful, Cecile. Thank you. You said thank you. I do understand. Appreciate that. Great. I don't see anything more coming through, but I'm always available via email. Feel free to send me your thoughts, your comments. Would love to hear them. And here we go. Anne has a question. Would my angel self be the third person? It could be. It is. It may be. It won't be. It's whatever you want that angel to be. The one thing that, if we were to take anything away from this this question that you ask, Anne, is that ask yourself, is the angel outside of you, or is it within you? And if it is within you, then is it like a bit of salt in water where you can't separate the salt grains from the water? Is it like soup once it's blended, where you can't separate the ingredients, but you know that there's some carrot in there, there's some onions in there, and maybe those carrots and onions are like angels, but they're inseparable, and you cannot remove them in a discrete way from your body. So explore that. That is for you to explore your relationship with your angel, your relationship with yourself. And I would love to hear your perspective. You're on a beautiful journey, as I am, as everybody else is. And that exploration is going to be wonderful.